Hello biscuits, it's Cupcake Kamisama back here with quite a special video, I'd say. It has been made as part of a wider collaborations with various other YouTubers to bring the Lolita community some video content on what we can do whilst we're stuck at home, basically. Lockdown and social distancing and quarantine and everything else around COVID-19 has forced us indoors, which for many of us means that suddenly our opportunities to engage with Lolita fashion are either completely gone or there are a lot fewer of them than we've had before. However, that doesn't mean that everything is completely gone. For those of us who still can wear our frills at home, one thing to get stuck with might be virtual twinning or remote twinning. What is twinning? Whilst I'm sure that it applies to other fashions as well, it is something quite common in Lolita fashion, and it simply means wearing the same outfit as someone else. It's a great way to celebrate our shared love for this fashion and for specific prints or dresses or styles. Now, some of you may think that twinning is quite hard to accomplish without the remote factor, and it's true, it's hard to coordinate with another person what occasion, what meetup, what time you'll be able to wear those two outfits together. However, the good thing about the remote twinning is that you don't have to do it at the same time. You simply have to agree on an outfit, take pictures of it and merge them together, and that's it. Your remote twinning is done. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, and in this video I'll tell you step by step how to organize a remote twinning opportunity with someone else. Step 1, find someone to twin with. It should go without saying that you need 2 to twin, at least. Well, you need 2 to twin, 3 to triplet, 4 to quadruplet, and so on and so forth. But finding someone who has the same piece or a similar enough piece, and I'll get onto that shortly, is crucial. Finding a twin works best if at least one of you has quite a comprehensive wardrobe post that you can share, because that way you're letting everyone know that this is what you're working with, and not just in terms of the main pieces but also builder pieces, accessories, so on and so forth. So if at least one of you has a fairly comprehensive wardrobe post, then the other person can chime in and say, I have something like that blouse, or I have the exact same socks, or whatever. And it makes the whole process easier because you're not constantly asking, do you have this, do you have that? Once you've found someone to twin with, it's time for step 2. Agree on what kind of twinning you'd like to do. I have done an article about this on Wonderworld, which I'll link down below. But to me, there are several different kinds of twinning and all of them are equally valid. And I'll explain each in a little bit more detail. There's the fraternal twins, which simply means non-identical. There's the opposite twins. They are twins who are as similar to each other as possible. There are complete clones. And there are what I call vibe twins. With fraternal twinning or non-identical twinning, some might argue that it's not twinning at all, but that will be like denying that some twins are not identical. So as long as you and the other person have the same main piece, whether it's the absolute exact same or the same one in different cuts or different colors, you could just style it as each of you would, merge the pictures together. Who's there to stop you from calling it non-identical twins? The opposites kind of twinning kind of touches on that, but it goes more into we're trying to make this similar but opposites. So rather than one person styling it completely differently to the other, you're aiming to get a very similar feel to your chords, but you're playing off the opposites theme. So it could be day and night, masculine and feminine, or it could just mean one of you goes with one base color, one of you goes with the other. Honestly, the only things that can stop you are how big your wardrobes might be and what kinds of things you could do. For whatever kinds of opposite pair you can think of, you can just do opposite twins. Going for a similar look as possible is what we associate with twinning most. This is what, when someone says twinning, most of us imagine. You might not have the exact same pieces, but you might have something very similar that could work. You'd still be basing it off a main piece that you both share, and maybe you both have a short sleeve white blouse with a Peter Pan collar. It may be two completely different blouses, but they have that same look. And then you simply build on top of that, trying to get as many pieces that are the same or look very similar to what the other person is wearing, so that your two looks are as similar as possible, basically. Then we get onto complete clones, which is something that was very, very popular in the height of OTT Suite and 2012 kind of era, when a lot of people were very keen on buying complete sets. Now, the more over the top you go with your look, or the more detailed you go with your look, the harder it will be to find everything exactly the same, which isn't to say that it's completely impossible. With a clone look, in my opinion, you can get away with certain smaller elements, like a singular hair clip or one small ring or things like this, being similar but not the exact same item, as long as the overall coordinate is made of exact same items. And again, this will be easiest to do with people who have a complete set. However, given that certain items are fairly popular, for example, antique pieced headdress, or a Roland coat, or a lady sloth gold blouse, it may be that you find more pieces that you both have than you thought you did. And lastly, what I called vibe twinning is sort of similar to regular twinning, but rather than having the same main piece, you both have a main piece that's very similar to each other. This works best with patterns or with solid main pieces. So if you both have a red dress with white polka dots, or if you both have something with a black and white stripe pattern, you can pull together coordinates that is very similar and then get other pieces to match as closely as possible, but you're not wearing the exact same thing. You're more twinning a vibe or a feel to an outfit than the outfit itself. Step 3, plan your outfits. Once you've established what you both share and what kinds of twinning you are able to do, then it's time to really narrow down on the exact plan. Are you going to wear specific pieces? Are you going to style them in a particular way? Do remember to take into consideration things like hair and makeup, which can not only tie off your individual looks, but make you look quite similar. Communication is key to a good twinning look, and especially when you're not there to do it in person. So you'll have to make sure that you either message or call the other person and agree on as many details as you can, or agree on where will you take some creative liberties. Step 4, plan your poses. I want to say that this is optional, but in a sense, all planning your poses means is ask the other person, do they want to do the typical cheesy twinning poses that people do? The hands making a heart, or trying to touch hands, or interacting with each other, or whether you're just going to do your own thing and post the outfit side by side. You could also try and mimic or copy the other person's style of posing. Some people do have a signature pose or way, they stand when they take outfit pictures, so trying to mimic that might help create a stronger twin vibe, particularly if your outfits are either only tentatively similar or if it's more of a vibe twin. If there is a particular theme to your outfit, it might be interesting to come up with poses that are also on theme, whether that's interacting with certain objects, for example, books, if it's a school themed coordinate, or for example, if you were to do a witch coordinate, you could try and move and arrange your hands so that it looks like you're casting a spell. However you want to play it out, it's merely polite to ask your twin, do they want to take part in any kind of cheesy poses, or would they rather just take as pretty an outfit shot as they can and merge it with yours. And the last step, step 5, is take your pictures and put them together. Once you've planned and agreed on everything that there is to do, simply take your pictures and send them to whoever might feel slightly better at editing. You don't have to go into elaborate, complicated Photoshop scenarios. You can simply use whatever photo collage app you may have on your phone so that your pictures are side by side. However, if one of you is quite proficient with photo editing, it might be a fun idea to try and merge your two pictures in a way that creates a story, or that puts you at least on the same background, so it seems that you actually are together and is less obvious that you've done this remotely. And that's it. All that's left is to share the picture wherever you seem fit. If you're like me, you'll probably find that this whole remote twinning thing is not only super fun to do, but it's quite addictive. And once you've done one, you'll want to do it more with other people, with other main pieces. As long as you can get dressed in Lolita whilst you're at home and take some pictures, then there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So on that note, I hope that you found this mini guide useful, and hopefully it has helped someone out there to realize not only that remote twinning is easier than it seems, but it's perfectly possible for you to do. So on that note, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment on it, subscribe to the channel. I aim to do one video a month, and we'll see how the prolonged staying at home will affect that. But one video a month is a guarantee for you right now. If you'd like to encourage me to make sure that it is one video a month, or maybe even more, then I suggest you buy a cup of coffee for me. A link to my coffee page is in the description box below. And as always, I encourage all of you to check out my blog, which is Cupcakes and Unicorns, where you'll find more Lolita content, including quite a fair few pictures of the remote twinning that I've done already. Editor Paulina here. I thought I'd mention this at the end, but I clearly haven't. Don't forget that this video is part of a collaboration with various other YouTubers. There is an entire playlist of various videos we all made to give you ideas on what you could do during lockdown, so make sure to check that out as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye!